Today is the 14th English Defense Sermon. I would like to argue about the combined mission with colleagues who obey the word, the love of God who wants to give, and the love of the Lord who wants to save, and the work of the Holy Spirit. The Spirit of truth who fulfills God's will cannot be accomplished according to the thoughts and will of man, and it is impossible for humans to do so. Even so, it can be said that it is God's decree and oath through the word that He fulfills His word, recorded under His knowledge and predestination. The Lord of the hosts had sworn, saying, Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have proposed, so shall it stand. Isaiah 14:24. I have sworn by myself, the word is gone out of my mouth in righteousness, and shall not return, that unto me every knee shall bow, every tongue shall swear. Isaiah 45:23. Through Moses, Deuteronomy 18:15 says that he will raise up a prophet like me. And verse 18 says, he will raise to our prophet like you to Moses. In John 1:21, we can see that at the time of John the Baptist, the Jews were waiting for the prophet, and Elijah, he also asked if he was Elijah, who was said to be coming in Malachi 4:5. The Lord of your God will raise up to you a prophet from the midst of you, of your brethren, like unto me, and unto him you shall hearken. Deuteronomy 18:15. I will raise up them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto you, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. Deuteronomy 18:18. And they asked him, What then are you, Elijah? And he said, I am not. Are you the prophet, that prophet? And he answered, No. John 1:21. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful of the Lord. Malachi 4:5. God prophesied 20 years before the birth of the Cyrus, as prophesied in Isaiah 44:28, when Israel became corrupt and disobeyed the word in the last day of Israel. And just as he used Cyrus the Medo-Persia king 2,700 years ago, in Isaiah 14:1, he said that Cyrus, who was anointed from the east, would appear and judge the world and to do work of the unifying the world. He also said that Jacob, who was like an earthworm, would be judged as a sharp-toothed threshing machine, as in Isaiah 41:14-15. That said of Cyrus, he is my shepherd, and shall perform all my pleasure, even saying to the Jerusalem, you shall he built and the temple. Your foundation shall be laid. Isaiah 44, 20-18. Thus said the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden. The subdue nations before him, and I will loose the ruins of kings, to open before him for two rebuild gates, and the gates shall not be shut. Isaiah 45:1. Fear not, you worm Jacob, and you men of Israel, I'll help you, said the Lord, and your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I make you a new self-dressing instrument having truth. You shall dress the mountains and pitch them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. Isaiah 41, 14-15. In addition, in Isaiah 59:16 and Isaiah 19:20, God predestined a servant to be an agent of God at the end of the humanity and the end of the Christianity, and said that he would be a work of the power. He was predestined to be the servant of the branch in Zechariah 3:8. Also is the important that the servant of the signet, who is prophesied in Haggai 2:23 and Zechariah 3:8 and Zechariah 6:12, as the servant who will serve as the branch appears in. In addition, it is established a missionary who combine mission to accomplish God's will. And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness sustained him. Isaiah 59:16. And this shall be for a sign and for witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of the Egypt. For they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors, and he shall send him a Savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them. Isaiah 19:20. Hear now, O Joshua, he high priest you and your fellows, that it says it before you, for they are men under it. For behold, that sit before you, for they are men under it. For behold, I will bring forth my servant the branch. Zechariah 3:8. And speak unto him, saying, Thus spoke the Lord of the hosts, saying, Behold the man whose name is the branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of the Lord. Zechariah 6:12. In that day, said the Lord of the hosts, will I take you, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of the Shealtiel, said the Lord, and will make you as a signet. For I have chosen you, said the Lord of the hosts. Haggai 2:23. Thus filling all the prophecies according to the words of the prophecy in Revelation 10:11. Again, as the representative of the prophecy in Revelation 11:1-4, the authority of the witness, we will work in the previous three and the help years as the truth of the plumb line of judgment. Or read like a Lord, as a servant as in Revelation 7:2-4, as a servant to be sealed with the authority of the seal, as a servant with the authority of our Lord of liar in Revelation 2:26-20:28, and Revelation 12:5, as the Spirit and the bride in Revelation 22:17-19. God's will is to fulfill the will of God by prophesying as the servant will make the final argument, making judgment after the argument, restoring the Garden of Eden in the new heaven and new earth, and establishing the kingdom of the peace on earth for the 1,000 years. And he said unto me, You must prophesy again before many peoples and nations, and tongues the kings. Revelation 10:11. And there was given me a right, read like unto a Lord, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and the men that worship therein. Revelation 11:1. And I will give your power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before the heart of the earth. Revelation 11:4. Seeing hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till you have sealed the servant of our God in their forehead. Revelation 7:3. And he that overcame the kept my works at the end. To him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessel of the potter shall they be broken to shivers. Even I have received of my Father, and I will give him the morning star. Revelation 2:26-28. And she brought forth a man child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. Revelation 12:5. When teaching that achieving the complete victory of the human history of a group that obeys the word, he taught that end of the New Testament church by referring to the end of the Old Testament church. No matter how much we are God's servant, even if you are a church, if we do not obey the word, we will perish. If we obey the word, we will achieve victory by looking at what happened at the end of the Old Testament church. There are two types of judgment before us. There are judgments based on obeying or not obeying the words of the prophecy. And there are judgments that pay back according to what the person did. Just as Jerusalem was restored as a group, the ways of the word. In the India of the Straight or perfect candlestick church will be established through a group that obeys the word, and that church will establish the kingdom of the saints. Now the work of that appears to colleagues who obey the word is evidenced as follows. 1. Representatives who obey the word receive the right, and the angel of the Lord protested unto Joshua, saying, Thus that the Lord of the hosts, if you will walk in my ways, and if you will keep my charge, and you shall also judge my house, and shall also keep my court, and I will give you a place to walk among these that stand by. Zechariah 3:6-7. Jesus' Lamb, who carried the sin of the world, was obedient to the point of the death, and the humanistic religion was established. Anyone who believed in the Jesus received the salvation without the distinction of nation borders and entered the kingdom of heaven. Because a servant appears a group that forms a new era emerged with the word that the servant conveys when the Old Testament church received revelation under the Pharaoh's government. It was received through the blood of the Passover lamb. And when Jerusalem, which did not obey the word, was destroyed by Babylon and restored, it was restored through some of his fellow believers who obeyed the word. In this way, the church that has been liberated by the blood of the Lamb, Jesus, as a group that obeys the word, will achieve a new era when Babylon is destroyed. History proves that no matter how much you are a child of God, if you do not obey the word, you will perish. It also a fact that history proves that you will win if you obey the word. Therefore, the whole group that obeys the word to emerge a representative person must appear. At a time when Christianity is so confused about the word, only when there is a servant who comes out after being unleashed by God's word obeying the word, can a group be formed. Because Christ took upon himself the sins of the all peoples and obeyed, he became the King of kings and gave worldwide salvation. The servant of the last days obey the words of the prophets that will be fulfilled even though they obeyed one word. It will be brought about a new era. At the end of the Old Testament church, when Jerusalem, which opposed the prophecies of the prophets, was destroyed, a new was established by those who believed and obeyed the prophecies of the prophets. At the end of the Christianity, the representative person is made to resist Satan, and no matter how much damage you suffer, you have the right to rule God's house by obeying the word to the end. Because Christ obeyed, the church stood, and the servants of the last days obeyed and governs the church. 2. Truth appears as obedient companions. Here now, O Joshua, the high priest, you and your fellow, sit before you, for they are men under for behold, I will bring forth my servant as a branch. Zechariah 3:8. No matter our servant is the representatives of the word, no fruit can appear if there are no colleagues who obey the word. For example, no matter how big a branch is, if this doesn't produce others, it's same though as having no fruit. Even a repentant servant like this cannot bear fruit without the obedience of his followers. In the Old Testament, Joshua, who was believed in the prophecies of the prophets, returned to restore Jerusalem under the Cyrus' command. But when there was no group that obeyed the word, the building of the Jerusalem temple was stopped, and only when a group obeys the words of the prophecy, arise thus the exercise of the right to appear. So the Jerusalem's temple is restored, and the new era has arrived at the same time. Therefore, in our Christianity, in order for the work of the church as a candlestick to form a new era to take place, there must be a group that believes in the words of the prophecy and fights. 3. World work take place. For behold the stone that I have laid before Joshua, upon one stone shall be 7 years. Behold, I will engrave the saving thereof, said the Lord of the hosts, and I remove the iniquity of that land in one day. In that day said the people of the host, shall you call every man his neighbors under the vine and under the fig tree. Zechariah 3:9 through 10. And he answered and spake unto those who stood before him, saying, Take away the field garment from him. And unto him he said, Behold, I have caused your iniquity to pass from you, and I will close you the change of the raiment. Zechariah 3:4. Christianity has been able to establish churches in every country to this day because it is testified to the cross of the Jesus, the stone of the rejection, and the work of the welcome Jesus, the cornerstone, must take place in order for the Christianity to feel the error. The worst work that take place through Jesus, the cornerstone, clearly testified to the truth, and the organization that testified to the words of the prophecy of the new era will mercy. Therefore, at the same time as the work of the corporate sanctification comes, that will be work of inviting each other throughout the world. So there will be a work of the elements, sins, and the new era will be established. The salvation of the soul lies in the forgiveness of sins, and the reason the body does not die and goes to the new age is because the body has the work of the removing simple nature. A new age is realized to people because there is a work of the removing sins from a perfectly representative person. Zechariah 3:4. And then there is a work of the removing sins corporately. Zechariah 3:9. Conclusion. The most glorious work will be accomplished through colleagues who obey the word. So this glory appeared when Jerusalem was restored at the end of the Old Testament. So glory will appear at the end of the Christianity as the candlestick church will be formed. These are two olive trees and two candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. Revelation 11:4. We definitely need to know the 2,000 years history of the Christianity does not end with the salvation of the souls who go to the heaven by believing in Jesus and being born again. Now the original sin and actual sin are resolved. The spirit and the body who do not die and enter the new age, and who do not taste death and welcome to the world of the second advent are saved, become the remaining servant and peoples, and receive familiar salvation, and enjoy the blessing of all generations to come is to end. It is they enjoy the age of the rest of the millennium kingdom on earth by restoring the tree of the life, the royal odorite, and the garden of the Eden that were lost in the battle of the world in the garden of Eden. Thank for watching until the end. You can see the English and the Korean text of the more detailed defense sermon that the world refers on in the homepage, blog copy of the Candlestick Church on the internet. I wish you a blessed life in which the fear of the Lord is your joy in your daily life. I pray that every day of your life is free from sin and has nothing to do with sin, and become a rich groom to welcome the Lord of the second coming. I hope you are in the peace of the Lord until the next time. Thank you. The curious period is around 2025 through 2026 for the unification of the North and South Korea. The first three and war before half a few years around 2025 through 2028. The latter and World War start around 2028, and the next three and a half years around 2028 through 2032. And after the organizing the kingdom, department of the coronation and the departure have wedding feast. Revelation 6 to Revelation 19:9. The Armageddon war is expected around the 2032. The wedding feast, the inauguration ceremony of the King of Kings, and the telco, Revelation 24. And the Millennium Kingdom are expected around 2034. The Lord's Prayer, our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the obey forever. Amen. Thank you.